Hey guys, it's John, ReelBlue Custom Rods, and welcome back to another edition of The Truth About Henna. Today I'm going to be doing some blending of some threads or some fade wraps or some inlays, whatever you want to call them. This thread here is the Henna Metallic Versa Thread Blue, which I've already done a video on, and you can see that here in the upper right hand corner. And what I want to do now is just get into doing or incorporating some different colors to see, the type of effect that we can get with this. So again, this is the blue metallic Henna by Versa, or excuse me, the metallic Versa thread by Henna. And I think the first thing I want to do is I'm going to experiment with this color here. This is Pearl Wrap Metallic Pearl White color. We're going to go ahead and do a little inlay with this one. And I've used this one, this color here, this thread before on a couple videos. And I've talked about, how it, if you don't use color preserver with it, how it kind of becomes translucent, if you will. So I'm interested to see how this will tie in with this thread here. We're just going to get a good bite on that thread. And then what we're going to do is we're going to incorporate this thread fade wrap. So I want it, because I'm wrapping to the right, I'm going to keep this thread on the right hand side of my main thread, just kind of pinch them together and then use my fingers to slide them down. And I'm not quite sure what this is going to do. It is metallic, but it's kind of more silvery metallic, if you will. It's got that pearl color to it. It looks really cool when you put finish on it and you don't use color preserver, because it kind of gives that pearl color to it. So it does look really neat. But I'm thinking that this is going to look kind of like just a silver wrap, but it looks like you're able to see a little bit of both, but really it mutes out the silver in this blue metallic Versa thread by Henna, and it brings out a bit more, you can see I bumped it there, but it brings out a bit more of the blue. I'll pinch that off a little bit. There we go. Then we'll just a couple more turns. And then what we'll do is we'll cut that running end off, that working end. All right, and so you can see that it kind of mutes out the silver, but it still lets the blue come through, or the blue pattern come through. So you can see that there. But what I want to try to do now is we're going to go ahead and incorporate another color here. And I think what I want to do is I'm going to go with Pro Wrap Nylon 404. It's a bit of a lighter blue. This is a size D. These Henna Versa threads are a size B, so this is a little bit bigger. But what we're going to do is we're going to tie this in and see what a nylon, a bit larger diameter nylon thread is gonna do for us here. All right, so we got that started. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring this in. And see what kind of pattern, what kind of look, if you will, that's going to create for us. That's kind of interesting. It's almost, it is not the same color blue. It is a much lighter color of blue, but the effect it has on this metallic Versa thread, almost gives it a monofilament look. It's interesting how thread does that. I call it a monofilament look. I mean, it's thread there, but it gives it kind of this hollow look to it. It's really interesting. So I think what we'll do is we'll stop that one there. And then we'll just tighten that up. All right. So you can see the look that that one creates. You can see clearly, you can see the white here, but then when you incorporate that light blue, again, a totally different color blue compared to the blue in the Hitna Versa thread, right? A bit lighter, but it gives it that kind of the monofilament look to it. So I think that is very, very interesting. What I'd like to do next is if we go with, I'm going to use some more Pro Wrap nylon, color 455. This is blue. You can see that this blue is a bit darker. This is also a size D thread. But we're going to see how this is going to tie in, if you will, and what kind of look it'll give us. All right, there we go. And then if this is your first time to the channel, welcome to ReelBlue Custom Rods, where I post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on all things about, you know, building fishing rods or custom rod building, if you will. Also some fishing videos when I ever get a chance to get out and actually do some fishing. But again, if it's your first time, welcome. And if you like the content that you're seeing, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. That way you get notified every time I publish one of the videos on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So again, if you're just joining, we're working to the right here. So I'm going to keep this running in on the right-hand side. And then I'm just going to turn the rod with one hand and use the finger to slide it down. Now I know I'm kind of going and keeping with all of the blues, if you will, colors that do well with blue. You know, because this is the blue metallic Versa thread by Hitna. And I also kind of did the same thing with orange. And you can see that video up here. If you haven't watched that one already, that was a pretty good one that came out. And so what I'm going to do is lock this down really quick. All right. And the reason why I'm kind of staying with the blue, sometimes I'll try a bunch of different colors, and then sometimes, like I did with that video on the orange thread, I just kind of stayed with colors that were similar to that orange, just to try to see how you can change the look of it, but still keep a blue color going versus incorporating a totally different color. Doesn't mean I won't try that here on this one, but so you can see we have the white. We had the light blue size 3 nylon thread. Again, this was the white metallic, I'm sorry. Size D light blue, and then the size D darker navy blue. And you can really see the silver marks in here in this one very well. It mutes down the blue, and you can see the silver really good, I think. I think you can see the blue really good, really well in this one as well. So. All right, so let's try another color. And now I'm going to try to be very similar. That is probably as close as I'm going to get. This is a Pro Wrap Metallic blue. And we're going to tie a piece of this one in to see the kind of effect we're going to get. Now this is a size A metallic thread, which is the same size, of course, as the Hitna Versa thread. But as we've seen in some of these previous videos I've been doing on this, is when you incorporate a metallic thread with this metallic Versa thread by Hitna, it does some pretty cool and interesting things to your wrap. So let's take a look. You know, and if I can, if I may, One of the things that I also like about this technique with a Versa thread that's going to give you this kind of tiger stripe pattern, if you will, you can see you have these patterns created by the Versa thread. But when you incorporate an inlay or a fade wrap or one strand of any thread, but especially if you choose a darker color like I did here with this navy blue, it gives you a crossing pattern effect. So this Versa thread, although we're all wrapping it the same way, the lines look like they go from left to right. And then I come in and I incorporate a straight up and down wrap with a thread, and it gives it a different dimension. So also something to think about, on when you're doing a wrap and some of the looks you can kind of achieve by using this technique. All right. So what we're going to do is go ahead and tie in this metallic thread now and see how this is going to come out. And because they were so similar, we may not get much difference, or we may get a lot. I think it's subtle, to be honest. I think it's a pretty subtle change to the thread, but I'll just keep going and use this whole piece here. A little bit more. All right, that's probably good. So let's go ahead and tie this one off now. All right. Okay, there you go. So pull that up a little bit here. And then now you can see the look that metallic blue gave us. Again, it's pretty similar, but by incorporating that metallic thread, you can see a bit more blue, kind of breaks up the silver, but I think it's a cool technique. I think so far, though, I'm a big fan kind of these first three, the metallic white, the light blue in size D nylon, and the darker blue or the navy in size D nylon. I'm more of a fan of these three, I think, because I think you see it a bit easier or a bit more, it's a bit more drastic, if you will, than incorporating that metallic thread. And then to be a little bit creative, we're going to come back, I think. We're going to come back in here with some metallic Pro Wrap 9160, and this is kind of a light gold, and I'm really interested to see what this will do, if anything, as well. Just trying to change it up, get a color that's not, blue, since I've used all these other similar colors or similar shades of blue, if you will. All right, so see how this gold comes out. Give it a few twists here, lock down that thread. All right, and now we're going to come in and start holding that in. Oh, wow. A bit different. I'm glad I tried this. It's a bit different. Almost just kind of blends in like metallic thread. But I do like the look of it, actually, the way the colors work together here. All right. Take that off. All right. And then what we can do is cut that thread. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's that gold color. So you can see how that gold looks in there. Let's try one more thread. And let's try, decisions here. Actually, let's go with and this is not easy, guys. Let's go with a green. Let's go with Pro Wrap Nylon 543. This is a size A. But let's see how this will work. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this thread loose here. All right, and start incorporating this green. Now remember, this one is a size A, and then this Hintna metallic Versa thread is a size B. So the other nylon threads I used were size D, so a bit bigger diameter. And so this one, of course, is going to be a smaller diameter now, again, because the green is a size A. But what I'm realizing here is that even with using a size A thread, it's not overpowering the metallic Versa thread by Hintna, but what it is doing, it is giving it essentially an accent and kind of bringing out some green in the color there. So let's go ahead and cut that. Let's wrap that down. And let's go ahead and tie this one off. Slide that through. All right, and then what we can do is we can just burn that down with a burnishing tool, pack it a little bit, cut that, and then what we can do is come in here with our razor. And again, if you haven't seen me do this before, if you're not sure how to do this, if you take your silver thread, like here, this metallic thread that I want to cut out of there, and what I'm trying to do is pull it back to create a space and then use my razor blade. So pull it back, create a space between the thread, and then you cut. And then what happens is you can come back in with your burnishing tool and pack that in if you like. But by creating that gap, you're essentially, when the thread pushes back over itself, it'll cover up the little piece that was left behind underneath. All right. And so just kind of coming in here, cutting these out. All right, so these are the versions that we did. So this is, again, the metallic Versa thread by Hintna. We incorporated a metallic white, and we incorporated the light blue. We incorporated the darker blue, the metallic blue, the gold, and then the green. And you can see, really, I think my favorite is the darker blue. I think I really like the green because it's not overpowering and it gives it kind of a little yellow look to it, I think. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree with me, but it gives it kind of a green and yellow look in there with that blue. I do like the gold as well, but I also am a big fan of the light blue here. So let me know what you guys think. So if you guys, let me know what color you like down in the comments block. So are you a fan of the metallic white, the light blue, the navy blue, the metallic light blue, the metallic gold, or the green nylon thread? That's the word I was looking for. Let me know which one you guys prefer down in the comments block. And as always, hey, appreciate you guys' continued support. Make sure you watch this next video here. And until next time, guys, take care. Bye.